And we are back. Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, Hardcore Nuzlocke. The run continues. We're going to make our way through Victory Road, meet Wally at the very end, and then it is time for the Elite Four. Let's do it. Our final first encounter can be found in Victory Road here with the big boy Hariyama. Chuck the Ultra Ball, secure it, and add it to the PC for the last time. All right, we've made it through Victory Row without losing anybody, and now it is time to take on Wally for the last time. This is the final fight before the Elite Four, so I'm very excited about this. We're going to lead with Momoe, our Roserade, and Wally answers with his Altaria here. So it's going to be a 5-on-6. His team is looking really good at this point in the game. We're going to set up shop with a Stun Spore here, potentially getting Elite Seed down just to milk the Altaria for everything they are worth. No offense to Altaria, it's just more of a defensive Pokemon, so we're going to try to abuse that. Get the Leech Seed and the Paralysis down, so Altaria is not looking great. Momoe has done fantastic here, and now we're just going to swap into someone who can ramp up and abuse that double status that we just set up here. So, not that I really have any sweepers, and we also have to keep in mind the rest of Wally's team. But we're definitely flirting with Tepe here, and I actually think we're going to go Taiga with the nasty plot and see if we can get that off. I think I was a little bit nervous of the Earthquake that Altaria might have, but it goes for Cotton Guard, so we know it has Dragon Pulse and Cotton Guard. This is definitely one of the perks of having the moveset with you, so you know exactly what you're getting into. But foreseeing an Earthquake here, we go for the Volt Switch to get some chip, and then we go into Kagami, just testing the waters, and it actually goes for a Safeguard. So I'm pretty confident that it doesn't have Earthquake. So playing a little bit risky, not having the moveset here, but living on the edge, I think we'll be just fine. So we go for a U-turn. We're just chipping this Altaria down, and now I feel much safer going back into Taiga, our little Plusle here to ramp up potentially, and this poor Altaria is just getting toyed with. I do feel a little bit bad about that, but it's okay. The ends justify the means sometimes for sure. Dragon Pulse comes down. It's going to do a good chunk of damage, but the Leech Seed's going to heal us up almost back to full. Looking really good there. We get the nasty plot off, and now the Leech Seed is just going to finish off the fluffy Cotton Dragon. Another Dragon Pulse does hurt more than you wish it would, but the Leech Seed healing back up as well, and now we're +2 in special attack. Looking really good speed-wise. And yeah, I mean, we're just going to get a Thunderbolt, and that almost kills Rosalia, but the Toxic does come down, and that is just going to ramp up over the course of the battle, so we got to watch out for that. And we actually get greedy by staying in for another Thunderbolt, daring Wally to send out another Pokemon that Taiga cannot handle, and the Magneton comes down, and we are just going to utilize that 1 or 2 nasty plot procs that we got earlier, and we're going to go for the Volt Switch, get some monstrous chip damage. It is a fadeaway critical, but the Sturdy holds on, so Magneton is just fine here, and now we are deciding what do we want to do next. Magneton is probably going to go down. I'm not 100% sure if Wally would use a potion or a full restore. If he did, that would be really clutch on this turn, but the key is we got our little Plusle to safety, so we actually go Magneton versus Magneton, eat the Flash Cannon, no problem, and then just finish off the Magneton with a critical hit. All we had was 1 HP left, get some key level ups there, and the Delcatty comes down. Not the most terrifying Pokemon, as Magneton just eases in with a Thunderbolt, and it's going to be a clean 2-shot on the feline, and there goes Delcatty. So no problem, Imayoshi gets the level up as well, and now for the big challenge of the fight, Glade comes down, Wally's ace, a fantastic Pokemon. Fighting Psychic is such a good typing, and now my team is hurting a little bit here since Poison is weak to Psychic, and Fighting hits our normal type for super effective. He can really hit all of our Pokemon for a lot of damage and goes straight into a Swords Dance and punishes our swap, so that is terrifying. So I go all in on the Confuse Ray, basically giving him a swagger with the Swords Dance, but he goes for a close combat. Thankfully, I don't even know if he has Psycho Cut, but if he did, I do believe we would have lost Crobat there. But he went for close combat, drops the defense, and opens the door wide open for a monstrous acrobatics, and Crobat fades away. Wally, a fantastic fight there, but now it is time for the Elite Four. Let's do this thing. We have arrived at the Elite Four here, and let's just take one last look at the PC. to see everyone that we left on the table here. And again, as always, we've got some pretty decent reserves. I really consider Azumarill with that water fairy typing is just beautiful. Sharpedo's always good. Again, we did get some negative natures, but nothing too crazy here. Just had a really good time with all the Pokemon I used in this run. Lantern is one of my personal favorites, but sometimes when I use a Pokemon so much, I do enjoy swapping it up. We didn't have trade evolutions on there, so Golem would have been cool. Hariyama is a really good fighting type, but I really like the storyline we have going with all of these Pokemon. The complete blunder with the Electrode led us to this Magneton. I absolutely love the little Pikachu clones. Roserade is such a cool Pokemon, one of the best grass types. Milotic, I never get to use this thing. It's fantastic. I'm so happy it's here. Crobat is an absolute staple. I don't typically use it in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, so it's really cool to see here, and it has that acrobatics, which is just amazing, and Exploud actually made it onto the final team, so very excited about that. As far as the casualties we lost along the way, lost Wingull in the third gym to the Thunder Punch, Numel to the Slash from the Kecleon, Breloom to another Breloom, which was very unfortunate. Got to watch out for the counters there, and then the absolute debacle that was me not paying attention, ran into a Ace Trainer on the seas that literally had one Crobat, and it killed 4 of my Pokemon as I was greedily trying to train them all up with only 1 leveled up Pokemon. So really a lot of good learning experiences here, but overall a pretty clean run other than that mishap towards the end. And without further ado, let's take on Sydney and let's just break this Elite Four wide open. So Sydney, he's going to be the lowest level out of all of the Elite Four. We've got the level cap at Drake's best Pokemon being his Salamence at level 55. So Steven's going to be well over our levels, or at least on par. His Metagross will definitely be higher. But Sydney should not be too difficult right here, right now. So let's just not take this for granted. I've got a pretty cheeky strategy with the Crobat. Let's see if it works out. And yeah, let's dive right in. First fight of the Pokemon League. Let's see if we can beat Sydney without losing anybody. Let's do it. All right, if we can successfully beat this Nuzlocke, Gen 6 will be complete as far as Hardcore Nuzlockes go. I'm very excited about it. So the Mighty Ina comes down, gets the free Intimidate, so we're -1 attack, but honestly, it'll be okay. So Mighty Ina is dark, so Bug is super effective. We got the X-Scissor lined up here. Let's dive right in. Kagami drops back, gets a really big X-Scissor, and it gets to half actually, but we do foresee the Swagger, and Swagger is not enough. I really thought X-Scissor was going to do more than that. So I'm actually hoping that this doesn't kill the Mighty Ina, and Sydney gets a big heal off. That way Mighty Ina can use Swagger again. And unfortunately, Mighty Ina goes down. I was really banking on that Swagger landing. Kind of a weird position to where I'm kind of rooting for Sydney to land his move. Typically, you'd want the enemy to miss, but we would have got a +2, and I had a berry ready to snap us out of confusion. So here comes Shiftry with a fake out play lined up, and I think we're fine. I do believe Kagami has inner focus anyway, but this is 4 times super effective, and the Intimidate is not enough to hold us off from killing Shiftry there. Really good stuff. Got some good level ups here. And again, I think Metagross is level 59 for Steven. So we have plenty of wiggle room as far as levels go. So I think we're good just to keep raining down X-Scissors here. There's not too much threat. Crobat is way faster than most Pokemon. And Absol has Psycho Cut. I completely missed that. And if that did any more damage, we would have just lost Kagami. Wow, and I have the moveset right here. That was very close. A little bit too comfortable. I'm definitely awake now, I will say. So I think we just U-turn out of here, keep Kagami safe for the rest of the Elite Four run here. And we're definitely faster. This should finish the Absol, and that will lead us to 2 more Pokemon. No problem. That was a critical, so Kagami is an absolute beast for living that. Just incredible stuff there. Glad to have Crobat on our side this time around, and Kagami limps back to the stretcher here. Keep him safe. Some key level ups there, and now we have Sharpedo as well as Cacturn. We have Sharpedo as well as Cacturn, and honestly, I'm very excited to showcase the X-Cloud, a very fun move set. It has insane coverage. I used to go through my Leaf Green playthroughs with Mewtwo, and it would just have such a diverse move pool. Anytime you have a Pokemon that can learn a bunch of different types is really fun. So Sharpedo comes down, and I do believe we're going to lean into the Brick Break. We do have the Expert Belt, so every super effective move is going to be hitting for 20% more, and that is going to be enough to finish off the Sharpedo in one shot. Ruskin comes down, does a little bit of chip damage, but that leads us to the bad Cacturn, or yep, Cacturn it is. And Sydney holding on to his last hope here. It is the Scarecrow, and I do believe we're going to light this bad boy up with the Flamethrower, and it goes for Spiky Shield, but that should be fine. Does that only hurt us if it's physical, or is that still going to hurt us? Nope. Okay, so I'm glad we went for Flamethrower and not Brick Break, because that actually would have done like a Rocky Helmet chip damage to us if we went for Brick Break, and that is enough. X-Cloud's debut right here, right now. Sydney goes down. We got 3 more Elite Four battles, and then we're on to Champion Steven. Fantastic stuff. Let's call this one here and then pick up in the next one. As always, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you on the flip. Peace.